of Holistic World, Holistic Living. How are you today? My name is Maytrelli Diaz, and I am presenting live from Seattle. Today, we are moving forward. We are really transitioning into this time of COVID-19, the coronavirus history that we're doing together. I am I have hope. I really today I feel hopeful. I feel that we are getting a new chance, a new opportunity to move forward into things, like having a time to reconsider what our choices and how are we gonna move forward from here. Are we gonna be making the same choices? Are we gonna try to change? Are we gonna leave the city? What are you doing today with your life that is gonna help the earth, that is gonna really help our home, because this is the only home we have today. So I'm just really excited to present you today my guest, Aliko West. He is a festival founder, producer, brand developer, a videographer, and a photographer. Aliko, he plays deeply in the realms of digital world. I can see his work is really just makes everything really attractive. He has dedicated his life to service, and his inspirations are music, dance, yoga. He is the CEO of the U Productions, and he is the co-founder of Expansion Festival, a festival that recently has been also sent online. So welcome today, Aliko.
Thank you so much, Maytrelli. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Thank you so much. It has been, for the people that don't know, and of course this is a new show that I am producing here. This show is meant to be opening doors for the transformational culture that it's coming. So that's why I was really just excited to invite Aliko, because this is a time, and in my life, honestly, I have been passing through deep transitions and deep transformational time while going to festivals. So that's his scene. But Aliko, tell me a little bit, who is Aliko West? Tell me a little bit in a resume so people can know you.
Yeah, hi. My name is Aliko. I'm just a human, just like you. And I guess I feel we all have this deep purpose on this planet. And through my life, I did a lot of struggling, and then a big, huge waking up in 2013. I got introduced to healthy food and the earth, and that completely changed my life and who I am and what I'm dedicated to. I've also had a lot of, I've done lots of traveling, like in my car. I lived in California for a couple years, and I've also done a lot of like business development work, like heart-centered business development work. And I think that's so important because we have this aversion in spiritual culture to corporate mindset, which is extremely valid and extremely important. And for me, I kind of twisted and turned it. How do we use these tools, these mechanisms to promote a better lifestyle and holistic living and integrated wellness? So I've taken all the business and art stuff that I've known, and I'm wrapping it up into what I know and what we all truly know is really important for this whole world. So that's my background.
That totally makes sense. I can see you have a lot of gifts. You are one of those box of treasures that we just really have to find how can we manifest a great reality, a great abundance, and also how can we with those tools share and invite other people to get that inspiration that we got. I also got a time for the transformation, and festivals, it was really for me a way to experience and explore in a deeper way how could a tribe be? How it's make you feel better to be around a tribe of people that it's conscious, that people that it's aware, that people that it's lovely, that people that is just actually respectful of earth and yourself. So honestly, for me, going into festivals um, in Europe and in Mexico, but also in the West Coast, was like, okay, I don't, I did some time on the party scene, more like a rave type of party. I really get also very good things from that. I did experience nature when you can dance, when you can expand that mind, but it got limited. So what do you think about transformational festivals, and how can they help support this new global community with all this situation that is happening right now, Aliko?
Yeah, that's amazing. I would love to know more about your festival history and how your own personal transformation was kind of enveloped in that. And also, you talked a little bit about the rave scene, and I think that is such a huge piece. I think I also got my start in like clubs and dancing and feeling the energy and feeling the movement. I think that's like a great first step, and then from there, like there's enough people who are in transformational festival scene and rave scene that that you can come across those people in the rave scene and grow your spirit through that. So I love that. As for transformational festivals, we have this inner knowing, this ancestral knowing about gathering. You know, um, expansions like tagline is the more we gather, the more we manifest the future we desire. I think, especially now when we can't gather, um, it's so important to continue to be connected and stay connected. And when we're able to gather again, why transformational festivals are so important is they are a portal. They are a built and temporary portal to other realms, to other beings, to felt experience, to creativity, to expression. And that's what we're coming back to as a planet, where we need to come back to creative expression, authenticity, just the ability to be who we are and build what we want and do what we know in the realms of responsibility. And how do we do that together? And I think that's why transformational festivals are so vital to the global awakening, because it's a temporary vision of what we would like our whole world to look like one day. Um, yeah.
It's truth. Like I experienced a deep inspiration, and actually I did study law, so I was working as an attorney. And then in one festival in Brazil, I just felt this awareness, this openness of, we can actually be respectful, we can actually feel happy doing your job. And that's when I decided to turn around my life, and I decided to choose yoga and do other things, exploring more like a holistic living. And I agree with you. What will be your perspective about this pandemic? Do you like, there are so many things that people are saying. Honestly, I don't listen to news. I try to not even research. I am just with my feelings, and that's enough. But what is your perspective about the pandemic, in the COVID-19?
Yeah. Well, my dad got COVID. My dad was in the hospital. He almost died. He's alive, but the virus hit his heart, and he was gonna die, and he didn't. And I had tons of shamans, like my people, just pray and send energy, and it saved his life. So I have a really close relationship with this virus in that sense. And I also take it with a grain of salt because I understand the greater powers that be, and the control and the fear that they instill on us to keep us controlled. So I take it with a grain of salt. Yes, I love this. What one person told me is this Arabic saying, tie your camel, which kind of means like, yes, you know, like go out and do your thing, but make sure you're just taking the precautions like tying up your camel. Um, and so I think we all have to find our own balance. All of us know what feels right to us, and what when our boundaries are being crossed by the government, or our boundaries are being crossed by other people's, like the news, or other people's will. But I think it's really important to find our own truth in how the virus affects us, and still continue to live our lives to the best of our ability in our heart space.
Thank you. That totally, it's kind of like how I feel. Like I want to be respectful and careful, but I also feel, why not? This is an opportunity to be at home, to just, go back in yourself. I was kind of doing a lot, and then I thought, you know what, I'm not doing anything. But then you came out and invite us to this amazing project. Tell me a little bit more about Expansion Fest, and if we can see some of the pictures of the production, this will be a perfect time, Daniel. What is Expansion Festival? How did that came to a dream?
How did that came to be? Well, it actually started as a birthday party. My friend, my co-founder and assistant producer, Shoshana, we've known each other since we were young. We grew up Jewish together. My mother is Israeli and French and Jewish, and so we grew up doing Jewish things together. And we both were out of religion and into spirituality, into back into our own personal spirit. And we wanted to throw her a birthday party. We wanted it to be a big birthday party, and it kind of just happened. The first gathering was kind of not anything super professional, but really cool at the same time. We did have live music. It was my first big production of something, vendors and I don't think we had workshops that year, but it started as that. And then everybody loved it so much. The power that came from just one weekend being with 150 people was insane. And the connections made, and it changed our lives. That one weekend of gathering changed our whole lives. And the next year rolled around, and we were like, we need to do this again. So last year, we had our biggest production yet, with 400 people, full lineup of workshops, full lineup of musicians and vendors, and a team. I led a team, and it could not do this alone. It takes a village to raise a village. And we put on a production, a really, really strong production. And this year we were set to do it again, with an even bigger team and a stronger vision, and COVID-19 came, kind of just sliced that. So I thought about what can I do? What can we do that would still give voice to the vision that we believe in? And so my favorite part of festivals are the workshops. I really love education. I'm always listening to podcasts, anything I can get my hands on, really. And so I had a ball with this virtual workshop mastermind. I was just I get to do the one thing I love to do most, is just promote workshop hosts. So that's what I did. And we have 32 workshops, started at the end of April. They're going through this month and through the month of June. They're free or by donation. www.expansionfestival.com. Maytrelli is teaching too. We've got incredible teachers on all kinds of topics, from permaculture to anti-oppression to nervous system health to yoga and wellness, to birthing practices, and even more, some more tailored to the business of regeneration, the professional aspects of how can we bring this into the corporate world. So we've got a whole bunch of workshops that that are open and free to the public, and the Zoom links are on the website. And so this is just me this year. You know, it was easy for me to do online rather than a full whole thing. And what was so powerful also is I was able, now that it's virtual, I was able to reach out across the country and the world. And I met healers and other people from around the world, and I invited them and to teach as well, to connect this global community. How can we hold and connect this global community?
And that's what we need, really, friends around the world that are looking at this through YouTube or through mundoholistico.tv. It is a need that humans have. I am a highly social person. I really, I teach yoga. That's how I feel good. I feel good making feel people good. In these times, it can get a little in your head to not look at anyone, or even if you have the forest, or even if you have nature, it can really get really heavy. So this idea that Aliko had, and of course that many other people around the world has been created online things, probably might not be for you every day, every moment. Of course that we are not inviting to just be stuck on the computer all the time, but really this is a different experience, being in your own presence, in your own home, connecting with yourself, but having a teacher that is sharing something in a specific theme, and then see other people and sharing around the situation and looking at their faces, connecting with them. It really makes it make me so happy when, and the several ones that I attended, it just make me feel we can do this. This is just a little bump on the highway, but we are gonna get through it. I feel so blessed that that you have all these tools. You are a photographer, a videographer, are in the web designer, you are all of this, that sometimes one person can create a change for many, and that it's a portal, that you are a portal activator, or basically a gate activator. And if you wanted to invite people to this experience, which it was different from last year, which I also attended to that festival, and it was awesome. It's always different to have, like the one-on-one workshop, just being with the teacher, from last year to this year. What would you tell to the people that it's around, so they can, come and join us in these mastermind sessions of Expansion Festival?
Yeah, I think this is just an opportunity to learn and grow. I think one huge part of like my personal spiritual awakening was every time I learned something new, I was able to integrate it, and it added to my life somehow, and I became like addicted to knowledge, in a way of like, oh, there's so much to know. I will never know everything, and honestly, we don't know anything at all. Like, but how can we enhance our lives to live more harmoniously with ourselves and others and nature? And I think this is an opportunity to get to know yourself. I'm loving the personal development workshops of nervous system health. How do we heal from trauma? How do we connect to our bodies? How do we stay present? Like these key components that if we learn them, like will change our lives. And then for other workshops, like how do we connect to others? A compassionate communications workshop happening, and that's going to be so on point by an incredible teacher here in Seattle. How do we connect to others responsibly and respectfully? And how do we connect to the earth? How do we grow our own food in a healthy way? How do these herbs enhance our lives and enhance the lives of people around us? Like, it's a service of love for yourself to learn and grow. And that's what I wanted to give people access to.
That's such a humble action from you, really. Like when you are passing this really difficult situation is like your brain, it's wondering, your brain is curious, you don't know if you, like, shall I believe this, shall I not? And you can really retreat hard, but sometimes that's the moment when you just have to like move forward, open the gate, and keep building, creating, just being a creator. That is what is going to be changing the world. How do you consider that the villages that we create in transformational festivals relate with a normal commune life, and why will a commune life will be the new way for our society right now?
Mm. Well, it's in our bones. I think when we take the time to remember, when we pull away from the matrix, and if we are led to a different thought, if we keep our minds and our hearts open, we can see and feel a new way and grieve the way that we're living now. It isn't in alignment with our true nature as human beings. And I think that we're coming back to ourselves. No matter where you lived in the world 1,000 years ago, you lived in community. No matter if it was in Africa or Europe or Asia or South America, we lived in community. And stronger influences, capitalism, colonialism, white supremacy, the church has really, parts of the church, has really just extracted our nature. And I think that as we come back to living in harmony with ourselves, first of all, we'll naturally start living in harmony with nature. And a transformational festival is an incredible place to start. It's an incredible place to start opening your heart and opening your mind. My goal, my life mission is to create a space where I have a team that I'm slowly working on with. It's probably a 10-year goal, but we've started a year ago to create a microclimate, like a space, a physical built space, a campus that is in a way a 24/7 festival, maybe not as like equally as artsy, and also something that's palatable to the matrix. Because if you just dropped a transformational festival in the middle of Seattle, I think a lot of people would dig, and also it would push away a lot of people as well. So how can we create and build a space that is palatable to everyone, and that includes and is open to every single walk of life and every single and because what we really need to do, like right now we've got the spiritual people and we've got people in the matrix. What we really need to do is build a bridge. And so my life mission is to build a place that's a bridge for spirituality to thrive, and for the public in the matrix to begin to comprehend the power that they have within themselves, and to come back to nature. So this means green buildings. This means access to art therapy and yoga studios and production stuff. Like, just imagine like it's almost like a conscious mall. So that's my life goal and my life mission, and I'm working on it with a team, and it's very slow. It's a big, big dream, and that's the natural next step. Are we going to continue to build these weekend-long festivals, or are we going to make a space for us to be able to thrive all the time? And I, if I could talk to like other symbiosis, I know a couple other festival producers, but if I could talk to some of the bigger ones in the world, like this is the next step. We need a permanent space to thrive, to be artistic, to self-express, to be authentic. So that's
true.
Back to itself. Yeah.
So true. Like really, once you are at the festival, I just want to stay. It's like, can I please just live here? Everybody they already created the little houses. There is a main kitchen. The people is like happy. You are smiling to everyone, no matter the color, no matter the shape, no matter what it is that you are dressed with, or maybe you are not dressed. It doesn't really matter. People is really open. My life, I actually met my husband at Beloved Festival.
Oh wow.
Well, it was at Mystic Garden Festival commercial, and then at Beloved Festival, which is another transformational festival. I brought my son, my little baby, with me since little, and my kids been going there. And for me, honestly, really, I feel that inviting people to just go a little bit uh, beyond of just like the celebration. Yeah, because we, although I invite people to be very positive, celebrate every day. Right now we are in that bridge that you're saying. We're kind of in the middle. We are like either the bridge might break and we have to run back to the city, or we are hurrying up and gathering our team, gathering our tribe, and get a hold a piece of land and created your solar panels, sustainable community with people that you can trust. And there is a lot to talk about community. There is a big system already established in all America, in North, Central, and South America, that it's called CASA, CASA, and you guys can look it up. CASA has a big amount of communities and villages that are permanent communities that are teaching, sharing permaculture, dance, spirituality. There are several that I can call Happy Village community in Colombia. Then we have Atlantida in Bogota. We have in Argentina. We have all the communes from the 13 moon 13 moon dot org movement, which is the Mayan calendar movement. We have a lot, but honestly, we need more. This is the time where people need to just really start typing in, looking for, feeling how you feel when you are in nature and you are creating, you are just being a source of information for others. I feel that's when you are really moving forward to things, helping each other to stop that, like toxic cycle of the work. And just people need to really tap into this. What would you do if you had a lot of money and a lot of opportunity to talk to people about this? What would be your advice to people?
I think I would do what I'm trying to do now, which is build a microclimate of what's possible for human health, wellness, and regeneration. And just, I don't think you can convince people, but I think you can show people the way by example. And so if I would build an example, which I'm attempting to do now, it's a slow process and we have little funding, but as we ramp up, I think we'll get a lot of growth behind it. So yeah, I think that's what I would do, is build a microclimate. And make sure that it's built in a way that doesn't perpetuate what we're trying to get away from. I've been noticing even in spiritual communities, there's lots of bypassing, there's lots of supremacy culture. Like, we need to really unroot, and dig up the soil of the sickness and the disease, and find out where it comes from, and find out and heal that pain, so we can stop perpetuating it. So building a microclimate in a really holistic way that is an example of what culture can be when we all are participating together and respecting each other in that.
Totally. I do have experience visiting communities, and I can feel I can feel really, really strongly when I am in a spiritual community that it's promising to be that um, everything that you can wish. And then there is a lot of spiritual bypassing. People are not connecting, people are looking down to other people. We just really need a time where releasing all of those fears, releasing all of those emotions of superiority, they need to be gone. They need to be gone. And that's one of the really cool things about living in the state of Washington. It's a state, a highly, highly happy state. We have all the nature, we have all the resources around to really like survive in nature. So I invite people to look out a little closer. Where are you living? If you are still in the city, is that a good place for you? Do you have your gardens around? If something happened, if the food source is going to be gone or the markets are closing, are you okay in the middle of that? And if not, what is next? So I invite everyone to think about that. What is the community of Seattle and what is the community of Washington State um, doing this right now? I mean, around your community, Aliko.
Yeah, I mean, we're all staying connected. We've got dance twice a week that's open to the and anybody around the world can tune in. We do ecstatic dance twice a week on Thursday nights and Tuesday nights. I do usually Thursday nights, but you can go to omculture.com, and you'll find everything there. That's a huge hub and huge network for Washington State. And then like we've got expansion, and we all live in community houses. So all my friend groups, we live in different houses. So we're with our communities, our smaller communities, and we're excited to get back. And and we've gone to each other's houses if we're like quarantined for 2 weeks. Like we'll come together. We did that this last weekend. So we're still staying connected, which is really nice. But it's definitely, I think it's hard on a lot of us. And like you said, this is an opportunity to slow down. I think this is an opportunity for our whole planet was just running into a wall. Like everybody was just running so fast to nowhere. And all of a sudden we just have to stop. And it's such a powerful time to evaluate what we really want. Like when the world comes back to normal, like, do we want to continue to run into a wall, or what are the things that we were doing before that now that they're out of our lives, do we want to keep out of our lives? Do we want to still see that person who's completely draining our energy? Do we want to still like go to that place that that costs a lot of money, like, or can we live without it? Or can we can we live without the luxury of society, and can we look inward to know ourselves? And I think it's such a powerful time to do that. And I think my community here in Seattle is doing well and taking the time to do that.
That's great. That's great to hear. And I know there are communities around the world doing the same thing. Personally, I highly invite people to look at that. There is a route that starts kind of in here in the state of Washington. If we have the map of the American continent, it's like going all the way down through Lakota land, through then Mexico, down to Mexico, all the way to the south, and down south to South America, with this movement of awakening the spirituality of the younger. How do you see like this baby boomers and the attitude against the millennia? What would be that differential?
It depends what kind of baby boomer, I think. I think some of the baby boomers are elders now in spiritual communities, and those are really important to find our elders. And I think what we're becoming is being trained to do is become good elders in our life, and the life is going to give us whatever we need to do that, so that we can pass on what we're learning now to future generations. But I think I have kind of I do what I want attitude, like do what you want, in and be responsible about it. Um, and also, I don't think we can't wait for anyone. We can't wait for anybody's permission anymore to speak our truth and to do what we know is right in responsibility to the earth, ourselves, and others. I think, yeah, I don't, my parents don't follow spirituality at all. They don't really understand me. I think I can say that for a lot of young generations and spirit kids. And one quote that I really love, I don't remember who sold it to me, but it says, "Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated." So if you're young and you're feeling, tolerated and suppressed, like I started living outside of my house at age 16 on and off, until I've completely moved out like around age 18. Um, but without those experiences of getting into spaces that see me, hear me, and account for me, like every single human just wants to be heard, seen, and accounted for. Like all trauma comes from not being heard, seen, and accounted for. And if we're getting ourselves into environments that we're heard, seen, and accounted for, I think that's where we will grow, and have the permission and give ourselves the permission, our soul permission to grow, and also like not need permission from our parents or baby boomers to do what we know is right in it and in integrity to our values. So we live to die, don't we? And um, I think there's this whole premises that the older is supposed to teach the younger. All the time, the older is supposed to teach the younger, which is true. And we are all here to learn from each other. And I think there's this value missing in our society that young people are imbeciles or, brand new, they don't know the world. And I think that mentality, there needs to be a switch there, that your child is also your teacher. Your child is your teacher. The younger generation is also your teacher. They will see things. They will, the legalization of gay marriage, marijuana, psilocybin, psychedelics, it's happening because the younger generation is like, okay, what we've been doing is wrong, and these other ways we've found to be healthy, and we're not as programmed anymore. We're the starseed children of every nationality and every race and every gender has pulled through, and every non-gender too has come down and been like, this doesn't work for my soul. So we're paving a way to a lifestyle that works for our souls, and I just say, don't let anybody stop you from doing that.
Don't let anybody stop you, because really, listen Aliko right now, listen your heart, and I really feel just hopeful and happy. And although I know that maybe you right now in your house or wherever you are, you feel sometimes a little bit under the weather, or maybe you are not inspired or something, that's normal. But I'm telling you, follow your heart, listen, like your deep dreams, like your soul, what is what you want. And I always invite people to change. isn't that something that really will help? Because if something, I imagine myself in a swing, and then I feel the swing is kind of like going in the wrong ways, and I'm feeling dizzy, and you are not like enjoying the ride. Then I said, get down and change. This is my most important recommendation to people. And for me, it's really hard to see like older people that are not, or maybe they know, but they are not aware, or they don't even want to, like, oh, I just, I buy plastic bottles of water, but why don't you buy a filter? Nah, I mean, they just really, I don't know what's going on, but they don't care. But we are the younger ones, the ones that, and everyone, if you are awakened in this moment, just take action. This is the moment to do it. Taking action, changing the paradigm, changing yourself, you change your community. Changing yourself, you change your family, you inspire others. My kid nowadays, if I say something like, oh no, we are not buying that product because of this, let's say if I wanted to buy it again, he'll be like, Mommy, we are not buying the product, remember? And then I go, yes, you're right. We are not buying that product anymore. Things like that. Just taking a moment to being accountable for your words, being what you say, think what you are saying, feel what you are saying, and then act on it. So important, your recommendations, Aliko. It's been such a pleasure to meet you in this way. I mean, I saw your work. It was amazing. It was fast. It was incredible. I highly, I feel highly honored to work with you. And we were showing some pictures here of your work, some of the productions that you're doing. So if somebody wants to reach at you, we are posting your email, your website, and everything here. And how many other workshops we have, really fast, the
Um,
last 5 minutes?
yeah, we probably have another 15 or 20, maybe another 15. Yeah, there's really, and then we're putting on a podcast eventually in the next month or so. That'll be the recordings of the previous podcast. So you'll be able to catch them on wherever you like to listen to your podcasts.
Thank you so much, Aliko. And the last thing, if you feel that we are going to make it in this transition, do you have confidence in the world? Do you feel trust in the younger folks?
I asked this question to someone once. I said, "Do you have faith in humanity?" And the response was, "Do you have faith in yourself?" And I said, "Yes, I have faith in myself." So yes, I have faith in humanity.
Yes, I have faith in humanity. Yes, I have faith in Aliko. He's doing a wonderful work with the Mastermind series and Expansion Fest. .org, festival.org. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, friends. Thank you, people. We are trying to do this new thing of good news. This is my very new show, holisticliving.com. Look for me in holisticliving.com and YouTube, and we are going to be bringing good information about good news, about transition, this pandemic. We can do it together. I feel confident that if we can manage to move into communities, we will be moving forward. So thank you so much, Aliko. And thank you so much.
Everyone. Follow your heart. Love yourself.
Say bye, Aliko.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. See you next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. This is Maytrelli Diaz, and this was Holistic Living. Thank you for looking at us today.